Yeah, we are ready.
Okay. Good morning. My name is Mr. Stewart, and I am working with Miss Fatima. I am her advisor for her math teaching praxis. So today I'm going to be looking at her lesson.
Moreland University.
Huh?
Moreland University, you are my
Mentor.
mentor.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to be looking at her lesson plan for quadratic equations. And this lesson is actually geared towards Algebra 1 students who are also special ed students who have IEPs. So we're going to look through her lesson today and just kind of give her some feedback. So she did, in her lesson plan, did cover all of the 3 standards. So she did go over the 3 standards, which was for learning development, also for learning difference, and for the learning environment. So the good thing about her lesson is that she did start off with her objectives. So she did start off with our basic premise: the students will be able to, or by the end of the lesson, the students will be able to. So she had 4 different learning objectives, which is good. Normally in a special ed class, this would be normally a lesson that would be probably done over the course of maybe 2 days, possibly even 3. With our population, we probably maybe are able to cover maybe 1 to 1.5 objectives today. So this lesson would be a lesson that would not just be a lesson that would be covered in 1 day, but over multiple days, which is good. So she planned for a multiple day lesson. She did also introduce materials, which is good. So she talked about different things that she wanted to implement into her lesson for independent practice and guided practice, which was the use of a whiteboard. Also manipulatives like tiles or digital algebra tiles. Also, she has guided notes with fill in the blanks. So those are like sentence starters for our guys. And also, we also provide the use of a calculator, which is good as well. So she did cover the lesson with the objectives. She also talked about the materials that she was going to use for today. The other thing that was very positive or very good about Ms. Fatima's lesson plan is that she did have a timeline. So she did want to spend about 5 minutes on a warm-up. And then she wanted to do about 10 minutes for introduction to quadratics, and then another 15 minutes for guided practice. So normally we do put time limits on certain things, but sometimes you may spend more time on the warm-up, sometimes you may spend more time in the introduction to the quadratics, and then you also may spend a little more additional time on guided practice. But of course, we said this lesson will not all be completed in 1 day. It will take probably maybe multiple days. So I'm thinking at least maybe 1 to 2 days to complete this lesson.
Yeah, that's what we did. I did with you. You remember?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So also she just has an activity here about solving simple quadratics. So this would just be for the students to have some independent practice as well as some adult support. So we know, because this is a special ed class, that a lot of our students do still require some of those supplementary aids and services, which is like adult support. They may need extended guided practice, and some of them may even require some individual one-to-one instruction. But we always try to scaffold, which means that we start at the lowest level of solving quadratics and then we work our way up. Thus, the need to be able to cover this lesson over the course of several days. And then normally after we feel that the students have shown some evidence of learning, we would do like an exit ticket. So the exit ticket could be a cool down. It could be like 1 question where you're identifying the parts of the quadratic. We could also give them a scenario and say, after such time, what would the height of the rock be? How tall is the building? So all of these things. But normally, we would not get to some form of a small assessment or a check for understanding until probably after maybe the first lesson. We could do probably maybe a warm-up quiz or something like that. But overall, Ms. Fatima's lesson plan was very well structured. She gave herself time to cover over the basic parameters of the lesson, and she also took into consideration the materials that we need, as well as what she would need to work for students with special ed populations. So I believe that this is an exemplary lesson, and I think that the students would benefit from this lesson by giving them the additional support and time that they need. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.